Meant to Be Well Summit is created by three incredible women, Ambreen, Valerie and Andrea. The main objective is to bring together experts from around the world to raise awareness about the importance of holistic well-being. This summit aims to explore the multidimensional aspects of well-being, including physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. This isn't just any event. It's a unique, global summit marathon designed to cover all time zones across the globe. We created this event because we genuinely care about you. We believe that everyone deserves to thrive and live a life of well-being. This summit isn't just about learning, it's about transforming your life. Our speakers are dedicated to inspire, uplift, and help you tap into your full potential. Join us, and let these world-class thought leaders guide you toward a higher level of mental, physical, and spiritual well-being.
Hello everyone, welcome back again. And this session is all about how to build a personal brand and what is its importance, especially in the current digital era where everything is gone on the digital platform. So it is important to have that personal brand that reflects your values and your identity. And in order to discuss this important topic, I'm so honored to have Pegha with us. And she is a serial award-winning entrepreneur. And she's also an executive board member, an investor, and an AI-powered talent solution with over 17 years of experience in UAE. She's also 8 times best-selling author and a renowned career authority builder. She has empowered several thousand C-level executive, entrepreneur, and startup founders. So thank you so much for joining us. It's an honor to have you with us today.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure for me. Thank you so much, Ambreen.
Yeah, and this is such an important topic, especially in today's world, because especially the AI has accelerated the pace of digital technology, and and everything is finally moving actually to the digital platform. So having your presence there is important. So I would just ask that what exactly how do you define a personal brand, especially in terms of digitally having digital personal brand?
Yes. First of all, I just want to clarify something. Although the term as personal brand is quite new, but it's something we have it since the beginning of the human beings, because we all carry some sort of personal brand. Why? Yeah. Because anyone, if whatever you perceive by others is your personal brand. So even kids, they have their own personal brand. So when they grow up, that this is a naughty kid, for example, this is a nerd one, they already kind of, by the characteristic that they show from themselves, they kind of owning the personal brand. Okay. Yeah. So, but nowadays we can actually utilize this personal brand for our benefits. And it's a kind of, because now we become like a global village. It's like how you perceive back then in the village as well. So it's like a kind of your reputation, how people perceive you, but in a digital era, which for professionals like us, LinkedIn is the platform to show off and to show our expertise, what we look like, in terms of even our personal life, and what could be our characters to work with us. So in a nutshell, is what you perceive as, as a professional is your personal brand.
Yeah. So it's basically our personality in digital way, right? It's because a lot of people actually, especially you have when we had the discussion, you just mentioned that you actually worked with a lot of C-level executive, and they shy away from this actually personal branding, because some of the psychological they have some, I would say, perception about personal brand, which they think that they cannot relate to having personal brand. So could you please explain that are the main obstacles that people actually shy away from personal branding?
Yes, as you correctly say, there are some perceptions which might not be right, and for me as a coach, as a personal brand expert, it's my job to remove those, perceptions that blocking for my clients, like the C-level executives or VP levels above, to start to realizing that they should show more of themselves in their digital world. And one of the things that I always face is the fear of being known. Um,
Yeah.
and another one, which is the very much I see that it's what is that called? I forgot the term.
The imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome. Yes, imposter. We talked about that earlier. Yes,
Yeah.
imposter syndrome, because they feel that I don't deserve to be known. Who am I to show to people who like what I've done? And they just don't take themselves so, don't take credit for what they said
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
no wonder why they're not getting promotions.
Yeah.
They're even shy. They feel so imposters that I don't deserve this, which is completely not correct. And my job is to remind them that that's not that's just what you perceive, and how people actually see it is totally different. But
Yeah.
those fears are like within us. I had that fear myself, not the imposter one, but fear of being known. And what if things goes wrong? You know what I mean? So what if something happened? What I get, like, all these things. And I can say like 80% of what we are actually fear of that happens are just in our head. It's never
Yeah.
happened. And
Yeah.
I'm like a proper example of this to show that it is not happening. Another perception that I see is that sometimes, that's what I always said, someone else less qualified than you is getting the job because you didn't want to put yourself out there. And they think that some people that they do that put themselves out there, and they are actually the real imposters, and they don't want to be like them. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Okay.
you're not helping, so
Yeah.
they're actually taking those ones. And if you really believe, and by the way, the intention is really important when you're doing your personal brand. If your intention is really to um, um, that's maybe for the answer of the, if you want to overcome this fears. Okay, we talk about the fears, and now if I want to complete that with how to overcome those fears,
Yeah.
is put your intention out there. And what is your intention? Your intention is not to show off and you become a celebrity. Your intention
Yeah.
should be way above that. I mean, there is no problem with that. There are people who wants to be celebrities. Someone having a problem with being a celebrity, maybe their intention should be, I really want to genuinely share my expertise with the others.
Yeah.
So many people, they can get benefit from your
Yeah.
expertise. And second thing is that I want everyone knows that what I'm capable of doing. How can you show to other people? Like nowadays, it's not like before that everyone can see you. It's not a village; it's a global village. So we need to consider that unless that we don't put ourselves and we don't show who we are, no one can see us and can recognize us. So. And there are certain things that you can actually put in place to overcome, and intention is the first one that you need to work on that.
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, I really love that answer that, most people are hesitant to show off because they think that like social media or this like personal branding, especially on in the digital platform, is all about becoming a celebrities or like all those people who are doing. But there is a difference between this, and you rightly pointed out that it all depends on the intention, that what actually you want out of this. And I would actually just say that it all links your intentions are all linked with your purpose and your why. What actually is your objective? What do you want to take out from it? It's not like, just to show off, like, a lot of people, like, you just mentioned the celebrity, but I would also say that, like, mostly in the like, would say the entertainment industry. So a lot of people actually link that personal branding with the kind of the entertainment industry, like a lot of models and the singers that they're going through. It's not
Influencers.
exactly, yeah. I mean, those who, like, people who do not want to be like them. But
Yeah.
there are lots of people, like, especially like now, the personal branding is not linked to all those celebrities. It's actually linked to all those individuals in it. So
Absolutely.
I would also like to ask that, like, people, you mentioned that people are afraid to be known. Although this is, I would say that, like, if they are in the business or something, so they need to be known. So, like, people can actually come and get their service or products. So what do you think? Could you elaborate that? What is the fear that, fear of known, or being, in the circle where people will get to know them? What is this fear? Why do they feel that fear?
It's a fear of being in a spotlight. It is in our DNA, by the way. It's going back to the time that we were in the caves. And, like people watching us, like we consider anything that is like watching and we are in the spotlight as a danger, and somehow our body react to it. So that's why there is a fear of like public speaking. That was something that I had it in the past, and I realized that it's because of that. And there is not like our brain doesn't make any kind of a change between the that's kind of a fear, or the the predator that is going to like come and like it's a dangerous situation. So this is one thing. The second thing is, like, as I mentioned earlier, is the imposter syndrome. And who am I? I'm not even worth it. Why should I do? And third one, they think they're not ready for it. So
Okay.
how should I start? Where should I go? What should I do? It's a newly term. I understand that. Honestly, there are things that changing we are in the very fast-paced era of technology. So yes, things are changing so rapidly, and especially like C-level executives and like VP above, there are people that they have over 20 years of experience. So back then we didn't even have computers. So not embodied in our lives, and now it's just like everything is just going so fast. How they can start it? Like they feel that from where, and they feel quite lost. And I totally understand. I mean, I'm from this kind of the same generation. I'm very very beginning of the millennial. So and we kind of saw the both changes, and we are kind of fortunate and maybe challenged for that. So those are the things that I normally feel that most of my clients they have the fear of not knowing how, where, and how to start and everything.
Yeah. Do you think there is also a fear of judgment, like, when they put out themselves, that people will start judging them, and then maybe criticism, they will, it's like this. Do you think it can hold them back also?
Absolutely. Yeah. Like, what if things goes wrong? What if someone puts something like some judgment about me? What if someone just, and it is the online platforms are not as audits, and everyone can say whatever. I mean, LinkedIn is less than that. What I can say that that fear exists, but again, it's going back to basic. They need to go back to basic, and they need to find out what is their intention. And when they put the intention right, many things will go right. I remember when I was writing my book, I was terrified. I was really terrified. And I was like, what if someone read and said, what is this? And what if someone, and all of this, what if they were all in my head? Because the criticism of your own mind is much better, much stronger than anyone else around. So the critics that we have, it's doing a perfect job for us.
Yeah, to hold us back. That's true.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I remember that my coach mentioned to me that, because you need to put your intention. If you put your intention, doesn't matter if people like it or not. And what is your intention? I said, I want anyone who is looking for a job can find a job with ease. And
Yeah.
that's really, it was my intention.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't care, even if one person actually
Yes.
gets that benefit, that book has done its purpose.
Yeah.
And honestly, I had zero plan to become bestseller 8 times. And the book got its 8 times bestseller. And I really think that it's all going back to my intention. Really, the intention, just when you set the intention, rest will be really taken care of. And every time you go there, you know what is your intention. So you have no fear. I mean, if I'm going there and I want to share something about the personal branding, I want to help people. I want to help C-level executives or the VP plus get better job opportunities. I want the clients to get better clients. I want the startups to get investments, and that's it. And if someone doesn't like it, not part of my audience, most probably, because my intention is to help. So.
Yeah. And that's true. I mean, you said that, like, you cannot please everyone, right? There will always be haters. There will always be people who would just say, you're not doing good, you're not right, or something. So it's very important to actually know yourself, know your intentions and why you're doing it, and just go for it, pursue your passion. So I really love that advice. So I would also want to ask that, like you mentioned, that it's all like whatever we put in the personal brand, especially on digital level, we basically portray ourselves right over there. So what is the role of authenticity? Like, like a lot of people actually, when they want to go out and create the personal brand, they want to present their best selves and something. So it's like kind of, although they talk about the authenticity, but when they present themselves, which is very different from their own personality. So what do you think, how you can balance this thing, and what is the role of authenticity in personal branding?
Okay, so would you allow me to get a little bit one step before that?
Sure.
Because first of all, they need to plan advance. What they want to be known for. And it's called self-audit. They need to really do the self-audit themselves. And just being like a kind of actually in my second book, I'm writing about that part, that they need to just go a few steps back and started to realizing who they are really, and what people perceive them as right now. So and what they want to achieve, what kind of target audience, what is the avatar of their target audience, and what is the persona that they want to be known. And but here is the catch. They need to find out who they are first, and then match it with whatever they want to portray themselves. So that shouldn't be very much far, because it's a double life. I don't think. And the authenticity works really well when you actually put yourself out there and you talk from from who you are, and people started to realizing it really speaks well. Again, I'm going back to my book, because that book was a learning point for me more than anything else. It helps lots of job seekers, but it was a learning point for me, which I'm not a native English speaker, and I remember when I came to Dubai 17 years ago, I couldn't speak a word of English, and so I learned now. But I always had this in mind, that my English is not good. My English is not good. That kind of limited self-belief that I had, and I carried it with me, although I'm speaking perfectly fine. But while I was writing my book, I was like, oh, my English is not good. No one can read it. No one can understand it. And all of those, critics that I had with me. And again, as soon as I drop it, it changed. But the most important part, I started to accept that I want a book to be written as the way that I want it to be written. I don't want it to be like Shakespearean
Yes.
literature.
Yes.
The book I want that everyone read it knows this is Pegha's, And
Yeah.
believe it or not, if you check the reviews, everything is written is like it's written in a very nice like language. It's easy to read. It's easy to understand, and it's got it already. You know what I mean? So again, the authenticity works. And another example, I actually because now we are in the era of AI.
Yeah.
I actually shared something on social media as an experiment, and I use AI and to write it.
Mm-hmm.
So I posted and as an experiment, and they said that everyone, like 80% of my audience, they come back to me and said, because this is not you, who wrote this one? Did you use AI? Literally, they said that. And I was like, wow, this is showing. So it doesn't matter how I write it. I don't use AI to write my content. I may use it to correct my mistakes. I may have like grammatical mistakes or something, but I never use AI to just
create it
on my behalf. So that's the that we are talking about. Let people connect with the way that you want to write, the way that you want to represent yourself, and so if you do the proper self audit and you want to be portrayed for something, everyone knows, and everyone knows this is you, and anyone who can connect with you, they will find you. They will find you.
I think very good message here, Pegha. Basically, like God has made us unique, and that's why we are supposed to flaunt our uniqueness, right? That's why we need to, and and you mentioned that our uniqueness, when we actually that when we write, that comes from our heart, it will attract those who actually resonate with this idea, and those are the one who really are the one who will actually your either fan or your target audience, right? And otherwise, like if you try to portray that to be someone else, you will always attract the fake ones, or which you don't like, because of course that's not resonating with your personality. So I love that point, that at the at the end, basically, your authenticity will always shine, and it will attract all those who resonate with it. So I really love that. So I also now want to ask, you actually mentioned about the imposter syndrome, right? A lot of people actually don't just, and it's not about the personal branding. It's also about doing a lot of like taking some steps to achieve success in their life or something, because they just think that they don't deserve it. So I want to ask that how one can actually overcome that imposter syndrome.
Okay, so that could be another session. We can talk about it like in the lengthy part, So, but I want to mention that some of these beliefs, again, the limited belief systems that we have on us, it all came from the 0 to 7 years old of our life. So this is something that I learned from the psychology point of view. And that's why I'm saying the imposter syndrome is just like going back to that. And maybe it has much deeper roots in us without us even noticing that. So for that, I really like it. It needs the proper housekeeping. It needs proper going through that kind of finding out what is the issue exactly that we don't want to give ourselves the credit that we are actually that we deserve. But there are some like steps that they can do, and one of the things is just like honestly, what we realize in our first session when we do the one-to-one, me and my clients, we go through their CVs together, not because they want to get a job with the CV. I will help them to get a job without the CV. But for me, it's really to understand them well, and for me to remind them for the things that they don't give credit to themselves. If you look at their CVs, it's just like a dull copy paste from the job description, like 95%, honestly. And when I ask them about their achievements, they don't even consider it as an achievement. They're like, yeah, I overachieved this, and and they kind of take credit for it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to remind yourself, you need to again going back and finding out what you have achieved in life and give a credit to yourself. And sometimes you have to give, a pat on the back and just
Yeah.
say, done. And maybe give yourself something to just make yourself a little bit, feel that you deserve that. And honestly, with the practice of doing this, you actually can get very well in that. So you can start to recognizing and getting accepting that as something that it's you deserve to do it, you deserve to
Yeah.
have it. And it will again, sometimes if I feel that my clients have imposter syndrome, I normally work on different level of like the psychology, or I can actually I normally refer them to another expert, so that they can actually go really deep and find out. But most of the time, we're just reminding about their achievements and taking the steps. Sometimes the whole thing is come after you coming out of your comfort zone, after you do something totally different. After that, you started to believe in yourself, and maybe you need to ask other people as well. So what do you think of me, and taking some sort of survey about yourself, and
Yeah.
you will be surprised how they think and feel about
Yeah.
you. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. So I want to ask that what are the steps in creating a personal brand? Like if somebody wants to create a personal brand, what are the steps they need to take?
Yes. Okay. We kind of very briefly talk about that. So
Yeah.
it's like need to start it with the self audit. Just go a few steps back. So number one, started to realize who you are and what do you want to achieve. So first thing is just who am I? And then why I want to have a personal brand. What is my goal? What I want to achieve? Like number two is that first the goal, what I want to achieve. Okay, I want a better job opportunity, I want a promotion, I want clients, I want investors. Each of them, they are different, so for my
Yeah.
clients, when I do the one-to-one, for each of them, we have totally different strategy. And then when they put the goal, that you need to find out your why. And when you find out your why is needs to be really rooted to your purpose and why you want to do that. And this why, it's a bit different than the goal. However, this why, it will get you to the goal that you want.
Yeah.
So it's this the why that you actually push you further for the goal that you want to achieve, because the why, your purpose should be way bigger than your goals. It
Yeah.
should be something further than that. When I was actually started to doing things and putting your post out on LinkedIn, I didn't want to become, I don't know, like known or something. For me, it was purely to get my knowledge out there and helping people. If you check anywhere on LinkedIn, you will never find me to put any advertisement about what I'm doing. Never, like as a post, like so. Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, I'm doing this, not
Mhm.
just because my purpose is that, but
Yeah.
because of that, I get clients.
Yeah.
And it's just like automatically they started to connect and they started to do this. And then the third one is, you need to be authentic and find out what is the authentic self that you want to portray there. And then you need to find out who are your target audience, the avatar, and put a proper plan for them. And then you need to start it to think of what you want to be known for, and like what you can put, what you can share. By the way, this part is another after we overcome all this imposter syndrome, fear of judgment and everything with my clients, we reach to this point that when they want to share something, they go completely blank, and they're like, I don't know what to
Okay.
share. you know
Okay.
Years of experience, I'm sure you can come up with something. But
Yeah.
what I normally ask them is like, can you explain something about like a product? I remember one of my clients, he's in working in one of the big fours, and I asked him, can you explain what is the digital transformation? I had no clue, honestly. And
Yeah.
he started to telling me that the whole history of digital transformation from 80 years ago, and like even the differences between digitization and digital transformation, which for me I thought they are the same, but they're not the same, you know. So
Yeah.
that's something that it was there, and I was like, wow, you already shared like so many content with me in half
Yeah.
an hour. You were like completely explaining everything, and each phase of these digitization or digital transformation or anything about digital, each of them, it's a content, you know. So but again, because we didn't practice that, no one taught us in the university, or even like we don't have a proper course for it. So that's why they're like, I don't know what to write about. So that's part that they need to start to plan their content and what they want to be known, what they want to write about, and you know, how they can articulate it. And then there is a plan for engagement with your customer, with your audience, and add like how to make more audience relevant to what you're actually doing. This is again another I need to just mention all this, you know,
Yeah.
problems or challenges that we each time we face after they started to creating the contents now for the audience. They start to expand their network, but again without
Yeah.
any proper goal for it. And you know, if my audience are, you know, VP level above, SVP, C levels, and executive levels, so I need to expand my network in that level. So if
Yeah.
you go to my analytics on LinkedIn, you will see most of my audience are founders, C-level executives, co-founders, or VP level above. So that's how I can actually, you know, be known for my expertise within my audience. So that's another thing which they need to put it in place as a proper plan to go ahead with that.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, you actually put a proper roadmap for that, how to build a personal brand, like from knowing your why, knowing your target audience, and how to actually put across the message. Which lead me to another question that basically, since like most of the C-level people or those people are actually trying to attract clients out of that, so how to actually give the message which adds as value, which is a value addition and not a self promotion. So, because this is like, especially when you're building a personal brand, you need to send message or across that people know you, right? But then it has to be there has to be a balance between, like, you know, not, you're not self promoting, rather you're adding a value. So how do you give the solution to this?
Yes, again, this is a very thin line between that.
Yes.
You can easily
Yes.
go into that one, and
Yes.
even if you put your, you know,
Yeah.
intention that you're not doing it, but
Yeah.
either you can, it can happen, or you can perceive that. And there are, you know, and there are like, I know myself also some few people that I'm sure that they're trying to do the personal brand for themselves, but
Yeah.
um, they kind of come across as like they don't have anything else to do, you know. They have so
Okay.
much free time that
Yeah.
they just everything, and they're like in every event in every city every day, you know. So honestly,
Yeah.
like sometimes I have people like, sometimes I'm just I want to really mention to them so that, you know, there should be a balance between both of them, you know.
Yeah.
So personal brand is not to show off and just saying that I was here, I've been here, I'm
Yeah.
going there, and just
Yeah.
posting and taking pictures. Unfortunately, that's backfire on you, and
Yeah.
everyone's like, oh my god, like why he or she is like doing like only this, you know. So they can
Yeah.
inspired. You need to add value. You need to start it to giving some information. Yes, it's okay if you actually go to some events and you speak in that event. Obviously, everyone wants to share that. That's a great achievement. However, just posting that you were in that event is not good. You need to add value. What did you share? What did you tell people? What kind of things you brought to the table? So and that's how even people that they weren't in that event, they're gonna
Yeah.
actually get something from you, and
Yeah.
that's how people started to appreciate it. And again, so like there are like lots of achievements. Sometimes I have my clients that they are actually linking their achievements with their current clients, and it's fine. And like we won this, we had this, and all of those, and it's fine. But every now and then, you need to also adding some values to your audience. You need to share knowledge. You need to show how knowledgeable you are. You need to show that what you have done to get to that kind of achievement with the organization that you're actually working with. And again, that it's all about I cannot emphasize enough in the intention part, so it's about like you want to help, you want to add value, you want to share your knowledge and all of those. So
Yeah, I think there's one question here. So, what do you think of like KOL, key opinion? I don't know what is called key opinion leaders, as they're more centered on personal branding. Exactly. For example, famous on TikTok, Facebook, and IG.
what is the question? What is my personal opinion of that? Or
Yeah, what do you think of? I don't know. This is a cold key opinion. If Chan, if you can
like
explain what is cold
Gary, you're
key
talking about
opinion?
people like
Yeah.
Gary V, for example, Chan.
Uh, um, the influencers, he's saying like the more influencer on FB. Yeah.
Again, you need to be really kind of specific with who and why you want to follow certain influencers, because um, unfortunately at this era everyone's called themselves expert, and there is no audit that you can start it to say, oh no, you're not, because you don't have this um, like you don't have this certificate or something like that. So
Goals.
professionals are hired to promote product online these days. Exactly. So
Yeah.
it is, again, and those ones are a bit different than what we're talking about here in terms of the LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So what is number of followers? See,
Yeah.
these are absolutely. I mean, I'm actually happy that we got this question
Yeah. Yeah.
because if you check my LinkedIn, I have 30,000 plus followers. And Brain, I'm sure you have more than that.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
triple of my numbers. Okay.
Mm.
But if you check my Instagram, I have like almost 4,000 followers. Why is
Mhm.
that? Because it's not about the number of followers that you got.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
about your message and the audience that you want to have to
Absolutely.
see you. Okay. And again, it depends on what you want to achieve. So if you are, for example, if you are a yoga teacher, I highly recommend you stick to Instagram, Facebook, or even TikTok. So
Yeah.
those kind of platforms are right for you. But if you
Yeah.
are you want to professionally like if you're a coach, for example,
Mhm.
if you're a founder of the startup and you want to get audience in that kind of level, LinkedIn is the right one. And
Yeah.
again, I remember that we had a session, like we in one event I was hearing one of the influencers saying that yes, in TikTok or Instagram, we are fire shooting da, 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 da. Make it
Yeah.
one target, but there is
Yeah.
it's you cannot be very specific about your target. But
Yeah.
LinkedIn is more like literally you have one person, one target, and you shoot and you get the target.
Yeah.
So that's how is what's the difference between the two platform, and
Yeah.
how number of followers are important or not. And by the way, we know in certain platform number of followers are sometimes are not the actual number of followers.
Yeah.
At least LinkedIn, it's very legit. So I
Yeah.
really stick to
Yeah.
LinkedIn in many ways, because there are certain things that you cannot do,
Yeah.
and you can do, or better to do. Again, even for the posting,
Yeah.
it's better to post less often. But
Yeah.
on Instagram, for example, you need to post every day, maybe twice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's totally different. So again, knowing what type of target audience you have, it helps you to find out what platform is works well for you.
Yeah, yeah. What a wonderful conversation, Pegha. I really loved our conversation. We got lots of great insights today, from like how to overcome imposter syndrome and how to position yourself as a brand on any social media platform or something. So thank you so much for joining. I already shared your website, so those who are actually wants um, uh, to connect with Pegha, please check out her website. And if you want to connect on LinkedIn, there's a LinkedIn LinkedIn address there, link there, and also I've shared the link on the comments. So if you want to just connect, please click on the comments, and then you will be able to connect. So
And
yeah, sure.
I just want to add something. So
Okay.
if they are actually like, my name is very odd and unusual, so easy
Yeah.
to miss this, so easy to miss this out, and all these links. So what I suggest, that just put Pegha Ghol on Google, and there are all of I have a Google panel already, so as an author, so there are all of the link about my social media and everything is there. So I'm happy to help, and at least I'm very clear with my intention. Thank you very much for having me. You're doing a fantastic job with this marathon, and I think that this is something that it's a legacy, and I'm sure that we can actually do it like on a yearly basis, and just keep it going and helping more people. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Amber.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's the objective, that we want to do it on a regularly, like yearly basis, so we can help people. That's our main intention. That's why we keep it free, so people can join in, log in, and get the knowledge from people like you who are highly expert in your field. So thank you so much for joining, and thanks to all of those who joined in our audience and shared the comments. I'll take 30 minutes break, and then after that, we'll have our Summit at the Glance with Valerie and Andrea. So stay tuned. See you in 30 minutes. And thank you, Pegha.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.